Dear students, have a nice day. Today we discuss basic and clinical pharmacology of ganglionic blocking drugs. The ganglionic blocking drugs are the nicotinic antagonist. It means the nicotinic antagonists are classified in two groups. First is the ganglionic blocking drugs and other are the neuromuscular blocking drugs. Ganglionic blocking drugs competitively block the action of acetylcholine and similar agonists at neuronal nicotinic receptor of both parasympathetic and sympathetic autonomic ganglia. Means these are the agents or the drugs which block the nicotinic receptor at the autonomic ganglia. That is that nicotinic receptor are called NL, neuronal junctional receptor. Chemistry and pharmacokinetics of the ganglionic blocking drugs. All ganglionic blocking drugs are synthetic amines. Amines are organic compounds. They contain a basic nitrogen atom. Amines are formally derivatives of ammonia. Important amine include amino acid. These are the important ganglionic blocking drugs. Number one is the hexamethonium. It is a prototype of ganglionic blocking drugs. Second is the mecamyl amine. Third is trimethophan. So these are three important drugs which are related to the ganglionic blocking group. One is the hexamethonium, a prototype of the group. Second is the mecamyl amine, and third is trimethophan. The first agent or the prototype of the ganglionic blocking drug is the hexamethonium. There is an obvious relationship between the structure of the acetylcholine and the nicotinic antagonists such as hexamethonium. Means the hexamethonium and acetylcholine has similar structures. Hexamethonium introduced clinically as the first line of drugs for the management of hypertension. Mecamylamine, it is a secondary amine having improved the degree and extent of absorption from the GI tract. The quaternary amine ganglionic blocking drugs poorly and erratically absorb after oral administration. It means that the mecamyl amine is a secondary amine. It is more lipid soluble as compared to the quaternary amine group like hexamethonium. Trimethophan, it is a poorly lipid soluble drug. Maybe it is a quaternary, inactive orally. When it is given by oral route, it is not effective because it is a quaternary amine. It is not absorbed from the gastrointestinal tract. It has short half-life. It is used intravenous route. It is used for the treatment of the malignant hypertension or severe hypertension. Now it is no longer available for clinical use because these drugs are now obsolete because of many of the adverse effects. These drugs are now still used in research. The mechanism, pharmacodynamics of the ganglionic blocking drugs. Number one, mechanism of action. The ganglionic blocking drugs are non-depolarizing competitive antagonist. Anyone know what is the meaning of competitive antagonist? Any student will define it? What do you mean by competitive antagonist? How you define it? Yes, please. Okay. So blockade of this antagonism can be reversed or surmounted by increasing the concentration of an agonist, example acetylcholine. The meaning of is that the competitive antagonist block the action of agonist, but when increase the dose or the concentration of agonist, this blockade is surmounted or reversed. It is called competitive antagonist. This diagram shows the site of action of ganglionic blocking drugs. You know, these are the autonomic ganglia. This is a parasympathetic autonomic ganglia. So these are the presympathetic fibers comes from the cranial nerves. These are the autonomic ganglia, and on this autonomic ganglia the nicotinic receptors are present. They are called NN neuronal nicotinic receptors. So these drugs, the ganglionic blocking drugs, block this parasympathetic ganglion, and in this case here they block the sympathetic autonomic ganglia. So these are nicotinic receptors present on autonomic ganglia, sympathetic autonomic ganglia. So they block these receptors on nicotinic receptor present and the sympathetic ganglia. These are parasympathetic ganglia where the nicotine receptors are blocked by these drugs. The sympathetic ganglia, the nicotine receptor present on these ganglia are blocked by the ganglionic blocking drugs. Diagram again shows these are the parasympathetic autonomic ganglia. These are parasympathetic autonomic ganglia. They are blocked. The nicotine receptor present over the parasympathetic autonomic ganglia blocked by the ganglionic blocking drugs. So the site of action of ganglionic blocking drugs. This is sympathetic ganglia. The nicotine receptor present over the sympathetic ganglia is blocked by the ganglionic blocking drugs. So the ganglionic blocking drugs are block the nicotinic receptors present over the parasympathetic autonomic ganglia and sympathetic autonomic ganglia. The organ system effect, you know, the pharmacodynamics has two parts. One is the mechanism of action and other is the effect on the organ or systemic effect. So what is the action of ganglionic blocking drugs on the central nervous system? So first we see the mecamylamine is a very important agent of ganglionic blocking drugs. It is a secondary amine. It means it is more lipid soluble as compared to hexamethonium and trimethophan. They are quaternary amines. So mecamylamine, being a secondary amine, crosses the blood-brain barrier and readily enters the central nervous system, and after entering in the central nervous system it produces sedation, tremors, the abnormal movements of the skeletal muscles, and abnormal movements and mental aberration, mental disturbance. Ganglionic blockade often cause moderate dilatation of the pupil. It is called dilatation of the pupil is called mydriasis because parasympathetic tone usually dominates in this tissue because the parasympathetic supply is blocked. So the action is parasympatholytic. So it produces the mydriasis, the dilatation of the pupil, because parasympathetic ganglia. The blockade of the sympathetic activity, the blood pressure may fall in both peripheral vascular, and it may lead, the blood pressure may fall because both peripheral vascular resistance and venous tone are decreased. Peripheral vascular resistance occur in the arterioles and venous tone is decreased. So both these effects may lead to hypotension. Hypotension especially marked in the upright position. In the standing position it is called orthostatic or postural hypotension because postural reflexes that normally prevent venous pooling are. On the heart, the cardiac effects include ganglionic blocking drugs diminish contractility because sympathetic blockade, and on the sinoatrial node there is parasympathetic system is dominate. When it is blocked, it may leads to tachycardia. So on the heart there is decreased contractility, blockade of sympathetic activity and blockade of the parasympathetic activity on the SA node, it may lead to tachycardia. On the gastrointestinal tract, ganglionic blocking drugs reduce gastric secretion and motility, which may cause constipation. So it is a parasympatholytic effect due to the blockade of the parasympathetic. On the genitourinary tract, They reduce contractility of the bladder, impairment of the erection, it is parasympathetic block, and impairment of the ejaculation, it is sympathetic. On the glands, ganglionic blocking drugs cause reduction in salivation, lacrimation, sweating and gastric secretion. So, all secretions are decreased. It is a parasympatholytic or blockade of the parasympathetic. Response to autonomic drugs: when the patient receiving ganglionic blocking drugs are fully responsive to other autonomic drugs acting on muscarinic, M1, M2, M3, alpha and beta adrenergic receptor, because these receptors do not blocked by the ganglionic blocking drugs. So, ganglionic blocking drugs only block the nicotinic receptors present over the autonomic ganglia, parasympathetic and sympathetic, while the muscarinic and alpha and beta receptors do not block. So, the ganglionic blocking drugs do not affect the action on the muscarinic and alpha and beta receptor. The clinical uses of ganglionic blocking drugs or ganglionic blockers: number one is the severe hypertension or the hypertensive emergencies. It is used to control hypertension, and second is it can be used in smoking cessation. So, nicotine withdrawal in the nicotinic addiction. Example, mecamylamine can be used to prevent the symptoms of the smoking cessation. So, it can there are two main important use in the severe hypertension and in smoking cessation. The important adverse effects produced by the ganglionic blocking drugs: number one, the postural hypotension, because ganglionic blocker interrupts sympathetic control of venous tone. It causes marked venous pooling and it leads to postural hypotension. It may cause dry mouth. Ganglionic blocking drugs may cause dry mouth, blurred vision and constipation due to parasympathetic blockade. Severe sexual dysfunction due to impairment of erection, parasympathetic blockade and impairment of the ejaculation, sympathetic. The ganglionic blocking drugs are important and used in pharmacologic and physiologic research because they can block all autonomic. Ganglionic blocking drugs were the first successful agent for the treatment of hypertension, but are now obsolete for this indication. Now they are not used because they have many adverse effects, and now we have better drug than that. Ganglionic blocking drugs we can use in control the lack of selectivity of ganglionic blockers confers such as broad range of undesirable effects like all postural hypotension and dryness of the mouth. So, they have many adverse side effects due to the lack of selectivity of the receptors. As a result, ganglionic blocking drugs are rarely used in. Thank you very much. So, if we summarize our lectures, we say the ganglionic blocking drugs are the anti-nicotinic drugs. These drugs block the nicotinic receptors present over the parasympathetic and sympathetic ganglia, and they block the parasympathetic and sympathetic activity, and these drugs are used in severe hypertensive emergencies and cessation of smoking, and they have many adverse effects like postural hypotension, dryness of the mouth and many others. But these drugs now are obsolete. Ganglionic blocking drugs now are clinically obsolete because they have many adverse effects and lack of selectivity. Thank you very much. So nice.